Hey everybody, thanks for logging on to riflesfootball.com. A slightly overdressed Darrin Bauming here with Rifles offensive coordinator Aaron Giesbrecht, and let's talk about a tough loss in Edmonton to the Huskies this past weekend. You'll be facing another Edmonton team back here on Sunday afternoon at at Maple Grove Rugby Park and Safetel Mustangs Field. But what went well, the things that you are able to pull away from the film that you've broken down?
Definitely. We were able to throw the ball pretty successfully. Obviously, the stats kind of suggest that. We were able to get a lot of people the ball and get a lot of people involved. Our run game wasn't as strong as it's been in the past, but when we did run the ball, we were pretty successful per yards per carry. Our quarterback played pretty well. He needs to definitely get a little bit better with just taking what the defense has given him at times and not forcing the ball. Although that's somewhat of a double-edged sword, because at times when he does take chances, he makes beautiful plays and guys make plays for him. So that's kind of a give-and-take relationship there. We just need to be a little bit better of knowing the situations in the game when we need to check the ball down to pick up first downs and move ourselves forward.
Tell me about that offensive line play in front of this two-pronged rushing attack you have in Mate Mitiyango and Brandon Urcioli. Kind of a thunder and lightning speed and power punch you have, but that offensive line seems to consistently, they've done a good job in opening things up.
Yeah. Since I've been here 3 years, our offensive line play overall has always been really solid. Our offensive line coach this year, Brody Jones, has done a fantastic job with the group. Kind of talking about the pass, not the run here, we've only given up one sack on the season, and even in that sack, I would say that's more the quarterback kind of hanging onto the ball more than the offensive line play. In terms of the run game, you're absolutely right. We've been able to kind of use both backs. The O-line's done a great job opening holes, making it easy for our backs to see where they should be running, and they really... with their athleticism, one of the reasons why we went to the no huddle this year is, traditionally we do have somewhat of a smaller offensive line in comparison to some of the big dogs in our league. That doesn't mean that they're not good players. They're not as big as the typical offensive lineman for, let's say, Saskatoon. But the strength that we do have is they're very athletic. We can run up and down the field. With our no huddle, we've been able to get 70 plus plays per game, which increases everything, right? There's more carries to go around, there's more balls to throw, there's more blocks to be made, everything. So that's helped a lot.
Of course, everything starts at the line of scrimmage with that good offensive line play. You have a quarterback in Riley Nauyuks, who once again was named a CJFL Player of the Week. But as far as your receiving core, it seems like the depth is really starting to show that your opposition can't focus in on one or two guys. You have a lot of guys that can, carry a lot of production, catch a lot of balls.
Yeah, that's absolutely true. We're blessed. We have a lot of talent, and most of the talent is very young. So these guys will be with us hopefully for the next 3-4 years. With that ability to have a lot of guys that can catch the ball, that can run routes, I'm able to, somewhat package them in certain areas to kind of get the best out of them. Our big guys, Tyler Hodgson and Eric Klein, we use them a lot in tight end sets, double wing sets, to get them matched up on linebackers, just to gain an advantage. They're also, big boys in the run, but they're good skilled receivers. But then we can also go 5 receivers, spread you out with a lot more speed on the field and get more people involved. So I think you're right that, we've been able to kind of include more guys this year, not just focus in on 1 or 2 receivers. We have a lot of guys making plays, making catches. That makes it easy on the quarterback because he doesn't really have to worry about, which guy's where. He can just read the play out and find the open man.
I've had a heck of a lot of fun watching Mate Mitiyango and that dual threat that he brings. You never really know what he's going to do depending on where you line him up in different offensive sets. Has that been a bit of an advantage you have in facing defenses?
I think so. I know Mate's been here now for 3 years. In the offseason, we talked to him at length about kind of the role that I wanted him to have and to be a dynamic player. The position he plays on our offense is called the flex back. So he's a flexible guy that we can move in and out of being a receiver, being a running back. Again, we try and match him up against linebackers when we can because that's a huge speed advantage. But he's also a very skilled receiver, and he's shown kind of a gift to go after the ball when it's in the air. Sometimes in practice, it seems like he kind of fights the ball when the ball's in the air, but come game time, that kind of goes away. So he's done fantastic things, and he's a very dynamic player on the edge for us, both in the run and the pass.
You always want those guys that are game players, not practice players, of course, and Mate Mitiyango definitely showing that this season. Quickly, let's look ahead to the Edmonton Wildcats and the challenges defensively that they face you in the offense.
Yeah, Edmonton, you know what? Their record's the same as us. We're 1-3, they're 1-3. You know, we're fighting for a playoff position here. Traditionally, you know, since I've been here, when we played them, they're a tough team. We've been fortunate that we have won. I think every time we play them, we have won. But you know, they fight, they scratch, they claw. They're not going to lay down for us. They're a physical bunch. They're fast. They're a lot like us in terms of body size and skill. You know, so they pose a really good threat. But at the same point, I feel like we have the advantage with the guys we have, the system that we're running. We're just going to continue to do what we're doing. This week, we're going kind of back to fundamentals, you know, preach the little things, make sure that we're sharp on what we're doing assignment-wise, and just go out there and play as fast as we can and run as many plays as we can.
Really appreciate your time, Coach. Thanks for this. Good luck Sunday.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Offensive coordinator Aaron Giesbrecht of the Winnipeg Rifles. I'll have the call on CJFLTV.com with the legendary Chris Walby. Really looking forward to that. But if you don't want to catch the game on CJFLTV.com, head down here to St. Vital Mustangs Field, Maple Grove Park in South Winnipeg at 1 o'clock this coming Sunday. For Aaron Giesbrecht, I'm Darrin Bauming. Thanks for logging on to RiflesFootball.com.